Welcome to the yoga method and your hip mobility practice for today. Yoga block optional depending on how things are feeling, but let's start in child's pose balasana with our knees wide, big toes together, allowing our hips to release towards our mat and finding just some beautiful length coming into our spine as we open the back of the pelvis. Taking 2 more breaths, arriving fully and completely in this moment. Just one more breath as we move into 4-point kneeling. So ripple your way into tabletop. And on your inhalation, we'll open through front body on happy cat before moving into flexion as we press the palms down, scoop the belly, and look towards the navel. Full breath in, moving into extension, lift the chin, lift the chest. And on the exhalation, rounding and scooping the navel center. Please neutralize, bring your hands forward, and let's move into a downward facing dog shape. So bend your knees as much as you need. Please check that your hands are shoulder distance. The middle finger is parallel to the long edge of the mat, and the crease of your wrist is parallel to the short end of your mat. You'll then gaze between your feet, and you'll begin to lift through the pelvis in order to lengthen through the spine, but we can keep the knees as bent as we need. Over time, maybe more length comes into the hamstrings and the calves and the Achilles and the soleus, but we're focused on the length of the arms, the length of the spine, and the connection to the abdominals that support the shape before we worry about lengthening through our legs or grounding through our heels. Be deliberate with the spread of your fingers, the gripping with your fingers. Be deliberate with the spread of your toes and the gripping with your toes. Taking one more breath in and out. On your in-breath, please ripple to a high plank, shoulders over wrist, gazing past the fingertips. And on the exhalation, sending your hips high, head low, looking between your feet. So roll your way forward through a little bit of flexion, shoulders over wrists, and then tuck the tailbone to lengthen the lumbar spine. And then reverse your way out of that position. We'll just do one more. So ripple your way forward, powerful, straight, strong, before moving the hips up and back to downward facing dog. As we come forward this time, we're pausing in our high plank and we're stepping our right foot to the pinky toe side of our right hand. Please release your knee for a moment and just check that your knee is right above your ankle and the knee is hugging in towards the hip. At the same time, you're allowing the pelvis to descend, but we're maintaining the stability through the abdominals as we switch on through the left glute and open through the chest. Just one more breath in and out. We'll pick up through the back knee. We'll slide to our high plank before stepping left foot to pinky toe. Help yourself if you need a hand. Releasing through your right knee. Checking the alignment of the knee over the ankle and the knee hugging into the shoulder. Pelvis descending, heart lifting and opening. But you're feeling so strong through the abdominals and through your glutes as you stay and breathe for 2. One more full breath in and out. Please pick up your back leg, slide to your high plank, and we'll just build a little flow here. So on your in-breath, stepping through with your right foot, and on your exhalation, lowering through your knee. On the in-breath, lift through the heart space. And on the out-breath, lengthen into a half Hanumanasana or hamstring stretch. Shifting forward on the in-breath. Exhaling to power through your legs. And inhale back to your high plank. So we'll step forward. We'll release the knee. On the out-breath, we'll inhale to open front body. Exhaling to explore the hamstring length through your left side. Inhaling to lift through the head, lift through the heart as we shift the weight forward. Exhale to pick up through your back knee. Inhale, high plank. Exhaling, right foot forward. releasing through your knee. Inhaling to open through front body. Exhaling to move into half Hanumanasana. We come forward on the in-breath, lifting through the back leg, and exhale to high plank. One more time. So inhaling to step forward, to release the knee, to open the heart, and shifting back on the exhalation, please. Come forward as the breath floods into the body. Pick up through the knee and stepping back to your high plank. Just a couple little changes coming. So as we step forward, we pause with the leg elevated at the back. And I'd love for you to explore the same shape, but with your back knee lifted. So draw the toes back on your right foot. Lengthen through your right leg. Engage your quadricep. Press dynamically with your hands as you gaze at your left big toe. Take 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, we'll ground into the back knee. Please reach high with your right hand and then reach for the back of your mat. Gazing down the length of your right arm as you stay and breathe for 3, for 2. One more full breath in and out. Reach high, circle the arm back and around before stepping through to your high plank. Second side, left foot coming forward, but we'll begin to lengthen into pyramid pose. Press into the earth, and only if it feels available, you're bowing your head to look towards your right big toe. Energize the quadricep on your left leg. Feel the strength of your arms and your core for 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, as we shift forward, we'll drop into our right knee. The inhalation will take left arm all the way up and over and just stay and breathe. So you're stamping down into the 4 corners of your left foot, pressing into your right hand. And we're using the abdominals to create rotation as we allow the pelvis to descend and open. Take 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On the in-breath, circle high and lift through your back leg before stepping through and landing in your child's pose once again. Just one full breath in to release that little tiny flow before navigating your way back into 4-point kneeling. We'll step through with our right foot once again, but as we ground into our left knee, we'll spin our left shin and we'll come into a kneeling position. So shoulders over pelvis, tucking the tailbone, and let's take a moment here just to check that the hip and the knees in one line. And you can see your right big toe on the inside of the knee joint. Please bring your left hand behind your head and reach your right hand out. We'll breathe in together. And on the exhalation, just shift a little bit towards your right. Exhaling to return. Pardon me. Exhale to shift. Inhale to return. Last 3. So finding some mobility through the adductors, through the inner seam of the body. Return on the in-breath, and this is your last time to pause and hold, landing through your right forearm, rolling open through the heart space, and sending your left arm over top. Please check that your pelvis is tucking under and pressing forward, and you're either looking just to the front or rolling to look to the palm of your left hand. One more full breath in and out. On the in-breath, reach high, and on the exhalation, please come to the other side. So variation 1, hand to your hip, variation 2, hand to your thigh, and variation 3, we're reaching to the earth. Keep pressing your right knee towards the pinky toe. Keep tucking the tailbone as you lift skywards on this posture, feeling just a different angle opening up different segments of the pelvis. Last 2 breaths. One more full breath in. And when the time is right, the exhalation, gaze down, help yourselves back up. Keep the shape and now bring your hands in front. Walk your hands forward first. Keep encouraging your right knee to the pinky toe. Release the left toes if they're tucked. And take a modified child's pose in this rather unusual shape. So encouraging right knee to the pinky toe as the hips descend back for 3 more breaths. For 2. One more breath in and out. On your in-breath, lift your heads, walk your hands back, shift the weight into your hands, tuck your left toe, lift through the knee, and just step your left foot wide. So on the in-breath, lift through your heart space, and on your exhalation, leave your hands forward as you bow your head. On the in-breath, lifting through the heart space, and on the exhalation, just pour yourself in as far as it feels good. Take 2 more with movement. Full breath in. One more time, we lift, we pause, and we hold. I want you to see if you could lift your right hand and entertain the thought of pivoting through your right foot so you could step through with your left leg, okay? A little breakdancing move. And then slide back, right hand down, left foot down. Shift the weight back and pause. Inhale, lift your heart. Left hand away, turn your left toe out. Slide your right leg through. Pause for a breath. And then retrace your steps. Ground, turn the feet. Release the head, release the shoulders. Full breath in. It's your right hand that's lifting, your right toe that's turning outwards. You're shifting the weight, pivoting, pausing, and holding. Before retracing your steps, right hand down, turn the feet, release the head and the shoulders. Breathe in, lift the head, the heart. Left hand, turn your left toes out. A little shift, pausing, holding. Retrace, belly strong. Lift the hips on the in-breath. Exhale to fold. Just one more time. Lift, right hand, turn the right toes out. Left foot slides under. Retracing our steps, ground the hands, lift the pelvis, release the head and the shoulders. Full breath in, left hand, left toe, right foot sliding through. Gently retracing our steps, lift the hips, pivot, pause, and hold. This is your last time, so find the lift of the head, turn the right toes, right hand, and pause as we transition here, but let's let everything release as we take a stretch break. So ground into your left hand, reach with your right, bend this knee as much as you need as you gently, gently ease your way in. Finding 4 corners of your right foot, a gentle press with your left hand, a very subtle pull with your right. Taking 2 more breaths, please. One more full breath in. And out. On your inhalation, you'll lift through your heart. On the exhalation, we'll sit back and we'll thread our right toe all the way across the line of the body. So variation 1, right foot slides over. Variation 2, ground into your left hand, lift your right cheek, and slide your bottom leg under. So once you're here, making any adjustment that you need so that it feels uncomfortably comfortable to your body. We're all going to take a hold of our knee as we take a breath in. And on the exhalation, ease your way in any amount that your body feels good with. Closing down the eyes if you wish, adding a gentle sway through your body if that feels good to you. But let's just stay and breathe for 3 more breaths. On your next in-breath, lift through your heads and hearts. On the exhalation, we'll sit tall. So unravel yourselves and come back to that starting position we were in to begin with. From there, grounding into your left hand again, reaching with your right, and we'll just move into a modified wild thing on the in-breath and exhaling to lower. We'll do 4 more. So push with your left hand, push with your right foot, lifting upwards, exhaling to slowly control the descent. Last 3. So full body strength, opening through the front of the body, exhaling to gently descend. Last 2. Reach, press, pause, hold. And on this last one, we'll stay at the top, driving down. See if you can get to the tips of your right toes as you gaze towards your right hand for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in before we gently, slowly ease our way down and out of the shape. How do we get out of this? We're going to pick up this foot, ground into the left hand, and slide our way through. A full breath in to lift our heads, our hearts, and on the exhalation, descend. Retrace your steps, lifting upwards, so it's your left hand, left toes turn out. We're sliding through with the right leg before we gently release everything down. Finding length with your left arm, grounding with your right, and reaching for the big toe side of your right foot. Bend your knee as much as you need. Please stamp down through the 4 corners of your left foot, pressing with your right hand, gently, gently pulling with your left as you gaze at your right big toe. Last 3, please. For 2. 1 more full breath in and out. On our inhalation, we'll lift our heads, our hearts. On the exhalation, we'll either slide only our left foot over, so the pinky toe side finds the floor, and your knees are stacking one on top of the other. So this is variation 1. Option 2, right hand down, left hip up, slide your right leg under, and then make any little adjustments you need. We find our top knee, which will be our left knee as we lift through the heart space. Option to stay. Or begin to explore a little bit more lumbar flexion. And that is definitely opening up the hips, the pelvis. So much sensation to enjoy. Please feel free to close your eyes. Please feel free to add a little bit of dynamic movement. Taking 3 more breaths. One more full breath in and out. On your in-breath, we lift our heads and our hearts. On the exhalation, we sit tall and we just unravel ourselves. So you'll lengthen through your right leg, you'll uncross your left. We'll ground into the right hand as we reach high with the left. And on the inhalation, we're moving into a version of wild thing. Exhaling to lower. So option to stay grounded and just press energetically. You don't have to lift up at all if it doesn't feel good to your body right now. There's 3 more of these. Full breath in, press down into whatever's on the earth to lift you up. Exhaling down. So feeling the posture, chain the back of the body, working to lift us upwards. Exhaling to control the descent. This is our last one. So we stay and hold. See if you can get onto the tips of both toes. Powering down in order to lift up for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in before we gently, slowly ease our way down. And we won't even do our breakdancing move to get out of it. We'll just take our legs wide. Bend your knees as much as you need. Hands behind you for support as we find front body opening. And then easing your way in. Hands on your thighs, your shins. Maybe the floor feels better for you. But just begin to take up any space that the body is offering. Gently respectfully, just with a sense of curiosity, moving to the edge of the pose that our body is saying yes please to. Roll the flesh of your thighs backwards, draw your toes towards your shins. Close your eyes and stay and breathe for 3. One more breath in and out. On your inhalation, just lift through your heart space. On the exhalation, sit tall. Take both legs around. So adductors have just been given some TLC. Let's give the hamstrings their share. And we'll finish with the quadriceps. So in Paschimottanasana, we bend the knees as much as we need so that the length of the spine can be maintained. And over time, a little bit more space will become available, but never forcing the body. So hands on your thighs, your shins, the pinky toe side of the foot, or wrapping around. On your in-breath, deliberately lengthen through your spine. And on the exhalation, deliberately engage through the abdominals and maybe through the quadriceps as well. Just one more breath. And on the inhalation, we'll lift through our hearts. We'll ease our way out. And however you can come to be on your hands and knees. So either swing your legs around or cross them into 4-point kneeling from here. So stepping out with your left leg. And please stack your ears, shoulders, pelvis as we ground for a moment with our left hand. Checking the alignment of the left hip and knee, making sure you can see the big toe on the inside. And then bringing that hand behind your head, right hand. Left hand out, take a breath in as we reach towards the left. Inhaling to stack shoulders over pelvis. As you shift the weight, make sure you're still pressing your pelvis towards me. Before returning, belly check, pelvic floor check. A little shift, pause and hold. One last time. And as we reach, we'll land through our left hand, bring the forearm down, and then opening through side body on the right as we send the right arm over. Tuck your tailbone, energize your core, and either gazing to the front or to the palm of your right hand. Just one more full breath in and out. We'll reach high before we take the opposing shape on the other side. So we catch the pelvis, or we reach for the thigh, or maybe there's spaciousness to reach the fingertips. But press your pelvis, tuck your tailbone, and then looking skywards if your neck will allow. Keep encouraging your left knee towards your left pinky toe. Last 3 breaths. One more breath before we reach high on the inhale. Come forward with your hands. So it looks like 4-point kneeling, but that leg is out to the side. You'll release through your right toes. You'll reach your hands forward and you'll begin to bow the head down and shift the pelvis forward. So it looks like child's pose, but with your left foot still out to the side. So we're opening the back of the left pelvis in a slightly different way. Last 3 breaths. For 2. One more breath in before we lift the heads and cross the legs and come to our Sukhasana. And however you can come to be on your hands and knees. So either swing your legs around or cross them. And then I'd like for you to perhaps use your block to elevate your pelvis if there's any issues happening with your knees on the medium end, the low end, or possibly just sitting with your feet on either side of your hips and your shins, your hips and your knees parallel. So this immediately begins to open through the quadriceps. From here, the more we lean forward, the less intensity there is. And the more we begin to open back, the more we'll feel sensation-wise through the quadriceps, through the hip flexors. So over time, if it feels available, you're lowering down to your forearms. And this is where a bolster or your block, again, could be such a wonderful tool to support you. So the block could come just underneath the spine, between the shoulder blades. Hands might cradle your head. So just feel that wonderful front body opening, in particular through the quadriceps and through our hip flexors. So our hip flexors are composed of 3 different muscles, psoas major, psoas minor, and your iliacus. Fascinating detail. Some of us no longer have a psoas minor. Can you believe it? So evolution apparently keeps unfolding. But at the end of the day, we are just concerned with maintaining good biomechanics, wonderful functional mobility. One breath at a time, allowing the body to open at its own pace. If you feel like the body's ready to go a little bit further, you'll lower your block down, or you'll get rid of it. Keep pressing your pelvis forward, so you're thinking about tucking your tailbone. So posterior pelvic tilt. You're lengthening through your spine, but you're softening through your torso as we allow the breath to really work its magic, opening the front of the body. Just one more breath. And when the time is right for you, this is a tricky one to get out of, so tuck your elbows, press up on your elbows, put one hand down, second hand down, and then allow your legs to gently unravel, roll to one hip, and lengthen, roll to the other hip, and lengthen, and give the legs just a little shake. I'll invite you to finish with the block either on the low end or the medium end as we do a tiny bit of thoracic mobilization. So you'll roll down, you'll find the block just at the bottom of your rib cage and it's sitting between your shoulder blades. So in this shape, bent knees feels more comfortable and definitely on the flat end. And we use the hands to cradle the head as we lower ourselves into thoracic and cervical extension. So extension of the upper back and the neck. And then over time, maybe the legs can lengthen. And perhaps over time, the arms could reach overhead. But again, just tiny, tiny, tiny little incremental gains. Never forcing the body. Close your eyes. Drop into the awareness of your breath and how slowly, deeply, smoothly can you breathe. Let's just take 3 more breaths. In through the nose, maybe clearing out through the mouth. 2 to go. And as we pause for a moment more, just leaning into the quiet power of your presence, the quiet power of your breath. And when you're ready, your arms will slide down. I'll invite you to bend your knees if you lengthen them. And please catch your head. Use your abdominals, but use your hands with your deep neck flexors to bring the chin back towards the chest. And then think about doing a little sit up. Reach for your hamstrings. And now use your core and use your arms to help you up the rest of the way. Once you've arrived in sitting, let's take Sukhasana, easy cross leg. Any position that feels comfortable, hands resting on the knees. Stacking the ears over the shoulders over the pelvis. And just feeling how the body is feeling after just a few minutes of mindfully moving and breathing. Taking one more breath together before bringing our hands to our heart center. And we close our practice with a bow. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful yogis. I hope your hips are feeling free and mobile, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Namaste.